issues.
Your property ends here. These documents confirm the association's right-of-way along the shoreline.
That's absurd. I own this land outright.
Blue strobes splashed over the lake like a bad disco. Wind cut off the water and hit my face, cold and wet. I smelled fresh coffee because I'd brought a mug outside at 4:50 a.m., when a tiny red light blinked at me from my dock. It wasn't a star. It was a camera. Then I saw the second one, little eyes staring from the handrail. A motion alert pinged on my phone that wasn't mine. My dock, wired up like I was a suspect. The HOA golf cart rolled past on the asphalt, tires hissing. Karen waved at me like a queen on parade. Here's the fight. Karen posted cameras on my lake dock without a permit, then I pulled the title search. She's the HOA vice chair. She called it community safety. I called it creepy. The cameras looked new, same brand the HOA uses at the pool. A zip-tied cable ran to a gray box on a stake. It hummed. May 3, 2024, cold morning, eyes on my deck. I checked the bylaws. Cameras need a permit. Waterfront structures need a county sign-off. My dock is small. Old wood, 2 chairs, a bent net. But it's mine. Or so I thought. I tried to talk first. I walked to Karen's porch at 9:00 p.m., porch light buzzing with moths. Karen, can we talk about the cameras? She sipped iced tea and smiled. HOA property, dear. She said the board voted in an executive session. She would not show minutes. She said I had 12 complaints about late-night fishing and trespassers. Funny, since I sleep by 10. I emailed the board. No reply. I spoke at open forum. Neighbors stared at the floor. The president scrolled his phone. My name went on the agenda as compliance review. I felt small, then angry. That's when I drew my line. No yelling. No snipping wires. Only proper channels. I made coffee, set a timer, and started a plan. I wrote in big letters, use the rules better than they do. I called the county shoreline office. I called the state privacy hotline. I called title companies. Timeline item 1 April 5 at 4:27 a.m. false trespass call. Timeline item 2 May 3 at 5:12 a.m. unpermitted install. I lined up photos, emails, and call logs in a binder. I printed the statute that said cameras on private docks need consent or a warrant. Plain law line, patterns of false reports can be prosecuted. The public records moment hit like a brick. The county clerk's records email arrived, and the file landed with 63 pages. Deeds back to 1988. Survey maps with little dotted lines. A narrow strip labeled private dock easement to lot 14. That's me. The HOA had recorded a maintenance agreement, not ownership. Then the twist, the pier footing sits inside my meets and bounds. I marched to the monthly meeting with my binder and a calm smile. I brought the county shoreline inspector, who loved a field trip. I also brought a title agent who owed me a favor. They sat in the back, quiet. When the board tried to start with fines, I asked for the floor as an affected owner. Karen rolled her eyes. $200 a day for non-compliance, she said. She clicked a slideshow. My dock glowed on the screen, circles and arrows like crime TV. I let her finish. Then I plugged in my USB and put up a single slide, survey of lot 14, recorded May 3, 2001. I pointed at the dotted line. This area is mine. Title search says so. The inspector raised his hand. He asked who pulled the permit for the camera posts. Karen said executive session. The room went very quiet. Phones came out. Neighbors started filming. One whispered, "Is this happening?" Another said, "She put cameras on his bathroom window?" I said, "No, on my dock," and smiled. Comments buzzed like bees. Someone kept score out loud. The inspector asked the HOA attorney where the permit was. The attorney blinked. "We have internal approval." The inspector said that wasn't a permit. The title agent cleared her throat and said the HOA's authority ends at the common path, not the waterline. The president coughed. Karen's slideshow froze. A kid in the back snorted. Outside, the golf cart alarm chirped for no reason. It felt like a stage. Then the flip. 2 patrol cars rolled up because, surprise, a noise complaint had just been placed. The officer asked who called. Karen stared at her shoes. The officer looked at my binder. I showed the timeline, the photos, the rules. He nodded. The inspector stepped forward. He issued a stop work notice and a removal order. The officer wrote an incident report for unpermitted installation on private property. He said it slow, so everyone heard. He also said, as if reading from the sky, patterns of false reports can be prosecuted. The room made that "oh" sound you hear at fireworks. Karen walked out and left her tea. It didn't stop there. The HOA email blast went out the next morning. Cameras removed pending review. Fines against Lot 14 rescinded. Refund of $200 previously assessed. The board announced a special election. Neighbors left brownies on my porch like I had survived a storm. A local blog posted the videos. Views hit 9,000 by noon. The comments were mostly polite. Some were not. The inspector sent me a scan of the removal sign zip-tied to the stake. It fluttered in the breeze like a small white flag. For once, the lake sounded like peace. Just ducks, wind, and my old bent net. Aftermath was simple. The cameras came down. Karen stepped down as vice chair and got a written warning from the county. The board voted to require real permits for anything with a wire. I took 2 trash bags and picked up litter on the shore. At the next meeting, a shy neighbor stood up and said, "Thanks for doing it the right way." I said, "We all live here." And I meant it. I'm not a hero. I just read my deed and kept my cool. If you have to fight, fight clean, fight on paper, and bring a binder. Please follow for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think she got what she deserves? Comment below.